Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your Aquarius January 2024 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James, clairvoyant. Well, we have a very interesting deck this month. Now, my daughter found this in a flea market, wrapped up in string, with no box, no papers, nothing identifying what it is. So I don't know what it's called, but what I do know is that the imagery on it is great. And it is very, very evocative and brings up the cosmic energies that are swirling around you. So if you do know what it is, just drop a note in the comment section below, and because that would be of benefit to me, just out of curiosity. Now, of course, in the course of the last month, I've done a number of one-on-one clairvoyant readings for people from different parts of the world over FaceTime and Skype. And if you'd be interested in having a clairvoyant reading with me, just check out the information that's in the description box. Now, also in the description box is information that relates to healing. I've done a number of healings for people over the last month from different countries around the world as well. Now, the thing with the spiritual gift of healing is that I am to provide it for free, without getting anything in return. And so there's no charge for healing, there's no catch, you won't be sold or recommended anything. It will be just what it is, and you understand that the healing comes through me and not from me, as it were. So if you feel that you are in need of healing, then reach out and we'll find something that suits both of our schedules. And as I say, it's without any cost at all. I would be delighted. In fact, I must do it. And by the way, it's great to see the subscribers again. Thank you for welcoming me into your home. Great to have your company once again. I enjoy being with you and see you as my extended family. Now, let me see. There are no video advertisements breaking their way into this content, and so you get to enjoy the experience direct. And we're going to take 5 cards, because 5 is all we need. They talk about plenty of things, as those who have seen these before. It's not just a 5-second or a 2-second thing. They're very talkative, and the imagery on here will give you a lot to think about as well. So let's get it underway and show me the magic. Princess of Cups, 6 of Cups, Knight of Cups, emotions everywhere, Princess of Pentacles, and here we have finally the Fool. This looks to me like it's going to be good, but let's see what they have to say to us. So, why don't you come? I'll bring the camera around, and then why don't you come and sit down here with me? You and I will have a good close look at the imagery on these cards together and let them speak to you and I while I do the reading for you. What a fantastic set of cosmic energies around you this month. Now, there's a lot of symbolic imagery on each of these cards here. I might touch on some of the imagery because we'll run out of time otherwise. And some of the imagery in each of the cards. But let's have a look at this card here first, the Fool. This is that major arcana, so we should probably deal with that first, don't you agree? Let's have a look here. Now, for me, the Fool represents the descent of your spirit into the material world. And here, he is descending down to the conscious world for his new adventure. Now, this crystal that he's holding in his hand there, that symbolizes memory and gifts he brings from his past journeys. I think this 8-pointed star that's up there is his guiding light, and yours, reminding you, as above, so below. I think we have here the Fool carries that staff there that's connecting him to heaven as well as earth. And these flowers here, what are those flowers called? I don't know much about flowers, but they are forever blooming as a reminder of the possibilities and opportunities that are always there, regenerating in your life. Now, this raven or crow calls your subconscious, reminding you that The magic in life is available when you quiet yourself and listen. Now, what might you say is this crocodile doing there? Look, people have different takes on the crocodile. I have a unique one, and it is that back in ancient Egypt, the Egyptians, of course, were familiar with the Nile crocodiles, but they couldn't determine the gender of a crocodile, and so they assumed that crocodiles did not have either male or female genders, and that when they laid eggs, which then hatched into baby crocodiles, they assumed that was a spontaneous generation of life from the crocodile. Now, in the same way here, this is a moment here where there is a spontaneous generation of wonderment, success, and abundance for you. This sun which is rising up behind the mountains represents a new day and adventure for you, and this waxing crescent moon represents new beginnings. He's got some white roses that are on top of his head there. Well, I guess that what they do is they represent a crown of innocence and purity. He is reminding you that you have it within you to do it and to make things happen. Do you know, sometimes you just have to believe in yourself. Now, there is a good chance that all you've ever been told or made to feel in your life so far is that you can't do anything. That every time that you even dared to dream that your life could be better, you were shot down or laughed at, made to feel small, made to feel useless, made to feel like an idiot for even thinking that you could be more. Well, all of us, just as we thought something was in reach, have had a massive shadow of doubt thrown over us, haven't we? Normally by somebody that's close to us, and it hurts. And then you've thought of the pain to get what you want, and your subconscious and conscious mind both avoid doing it. But this is saying, put those thoughts aside. They are not to be with you anymore. You can do it. This is a time when you are going to open up at the start of this year and have trust. Trust in yourself and to be ready to take a risk and the courage to stand your ground. There's a freedom, an independence, a creativity. You have in front of you now great potential that you can tap into and the possibility to take a quantum leap by listening to your heart's voice. Be in the present. This is speaking of new beginnings and acting without malice. There is the start of something new here for you now, and spontaneous, almost a journey into the unknown, which is full of potential for you, so believe in yourself. Your subconscious doesn't know whether something is right or wrong. Program it with, I can do it, and it will work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to make sure that it happens. So this is a time to take a leap, not of faith, but with the inner confidence that you are going to be okay. And open your life up and have faith that you can create what you want. I think you're going to break free from the usual routine of life. Look upon life now as this fool does, and be empty again as he does, coming here into the world. You are ready for a new beginning, perhaps even a quantum leap, so give in, dare to leap, even if fear attempts to hold you back. Trust that voice from within your heart. Now, what does this fear mean for you? How do you imagine this courageous leap in the new to be? What does it look like? Where does your heart call you to go? Say to yourself, I am a radiant being. I am a living treasure. I honor and value the unlimited resource of courage which is within me. I respect the nature of who I am. There is nothing to fear, and I now follow my heart. I am open and ready to go wherever it may lead me. Now, where shall we go? There's a lot of court cards around. Why don't we do this 6 and then we'll do the courts, shall we? And see what there might be. Ooh, here we go. Fasten your seat belt. Let's have a look here. Well, there are 2 children which are riding a magical rainbow horse in this starry universe here. And I think that these children together symbolize the united twin flame of the physical and the spiritual self, the healed and the fulfilled inner child. Now, the 6 lotuses that are coming up there, I think they symbolize the growing towards enlightenment that you will have, and the sun rising out. That's bathing you in the cosmic fire of wisdom and love. Now, interestingly, with this card here and the numerology being the number 6, the 6 of Cups, I have an association with the sun with the 6 of Cups. I also mystically have an association with what I very broadly call Christ consciousness, Krishna consciousness, or Vishnu consciousness as well. And astrologically, in addition to the sun being there, I see the sun coming in and ruling the 2nd decan of Scorpio, the 3rd to the 12th of November. So we have a double sun. We have a sun in the 6th and we have a sun coming into Scorpio here. And the double sun reveals what Scorpio wants to hide. Now this is speaking to me here for you of pleasure, of indulgence, of sexual pleasure, lust, enjoyment, pleasure in sexual relationships, and a rich exchange of sexual and heart energy, and in particular, and importantly, an emotional renewal here. It's a very highly sexualized energy here. Now, if you don't happen to be with someone, then you can still explore that energy by yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, the pleasure here is the kind of pleasure, though, I think, which is completely balanced. Now, the sign of Scorpio, that pleasure is planted in here. Well, that's really planted in its most fertile soil, isn't it? And this is a preeminently fertile card. That is, things are going to grow in your life. This is an invitation to you to give yourself up to the richness of your own emotionality. Now, you could experience this like a jump into water, as the tingling anticipation of diving deeply, of disappearing, of letting go, and then rising to the surface. You are refreshed. This is the process of death and rebirth. The result of taking the risk is deep emotional purification and renewal. Now, with this pleasure that's coming around here, this could be a pleasure that you experience after what has been, it could have been a period of some hardship, I think. Just getting that energy around there. I think that you're also going to be undergoing a period of healing and transformation. And the emphasis on this energy is that of a relationship, or the desire to have a relationship that's going to fill you deeply. And that is going to improve both the individuals, where the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. So enjoy now all which life gives you. This is the best way to express your gratitude. Are you holding on to old beliefs which prevent your enjoyment of pleasure? Enjoy your own emotional wealth and share it with someone, or enjoy yourself with it. Say to yourself, I am now open to someone with whom I can share the joys of love on all levels. Now, let's start with this court card, shall we? And let's begin in the center. Why not? Here we have the Knight of Cups. Gee, I'm getting a lot of Scorpio around here. A lot of Libra. They may well be important to you, I think. What's happening here, my dear fellow? Well, he's riding this, what would you call it, a unicorn type of thing. Now, I see mystically a unicorn as being the ability of spirit, of matter to emerge from out of spirit. But nevertheless, this grail that he's holding here, the cup for this suit of cups. Air, water, airy part of water. Airy water means things could be still or they could be very stormy, don't they? Now on the side of the cup there is it looks like something, doves. Doves are on the side of it there, which are talking about spirituality, I suppose. And they are messengers of the divine, of course, and they symbolize love and peace and purity. Now, he has angelic sort of wings. There's a reminiscence here of the Archangel Gabriel, and on the shoulder of the knight is the emblem of an eagle, which I notice is the highest, the exalted form of Scorpio, incidentally. Scorpio has three forms: the scorpion, the snake, and then the exalted form is that of the eagle, I suppose, yeah. And his cloak holds the starry, I call here the sort of starry realm of the subconscious that's there. Now, these fish that are swimming around, and there's like a labyrinth that's there, and almost like a medicine wheel. See these things here? Well, I think that these fish swimming around the labyrinth symbolize the many wisdoms to be found on your journey of inner exploration. I could go on about the labyrinth, but I won't. It's probably a half hour in itself. Now, this is speaking to me of somebody who is actually quite subtle, but someone who has a secret violence associated with them, someone who's very crafty. I'm getting the image here of an artist who appears calm on the surface, but it actually masks an intense passion. What I'm getting around here also are the energy of desire, wishes, craving. This is someone, I think, who is completely without conscience in the ordinary sense of the word, perfectly ruthless. And he, or it could be a she, because these are interchangeable, the courts, they really care intensely for power and for information and their own aims. They don't feel any responsibility for anybody else, and so they can't be relied upon. And this is a person who, because of this presence of Libra that I'm getting around here, Libra, of course, is an air sign, and I think that there is the ability of this person to detach from the heavy, intense, controlling emotions that I feel in Scorpio that's around here. I think that this shows someone actually who is in control of their emotions, but being detached and cool can often be a front for insecurity and fear, really. I think what this is saying to me, though, is that your wishes and desires must be perceived by you, recognized by you, because they are the fundamental driving force in your life. And it's only possible to use and to master them if you're wide awake and alert to them. Instead of suppressing them, shine the light of them, and you can use them in the process of becoming more aware. When seen in this way, they are a way that helps you journey into the world within. Now, this other person that I see here is someone who actually can shed good insight into problems, emotional relationship problems, and problems with husbands and wives and boyfriends and girlfriends, or girlfriends and girlfriends, or boyfriends and boyfriends, as the case may be, because they have usually been there and done that themselves. But what's coming through here strongly is this, that you should accept your sexual needs and passions. Well, we were talking about that there in a sense as well, weren't we? And you should live them out with awareness, because you're going to discover a lot in this process. So give yourself totally to the experience and observe yourself in it. Now, ask yourself this question: what secret wishes are you unwilling to admit to? And spend some time each day visualizing yourself in your desires, and without getting lost in them, though. And say this to yourself: I now live out my sexual desires because this makes me more vital, interesting, and fulfilled. There's another cups here. Let's have a look at it. This time it's the princess. Emotional time, I think, for you. A good time, though. Great time. Great time to be alive and to be enjoying yourself, setting plans and moving forward. What's going on in this image here? Well, it looks like some ancient temple. Would she be underwater? No, maybe this looks like it's underwater in a sense that she's kind of a little bit above it. But here are the ancient temple ruins that are there. And I think what's also the case is, yeah, she's standing on this scallop shell, which was a depiction of the goddess Aphrodite or Venus was it by Botticelli, I think? You art students will know more about that than I will. Now, she's holding this big grail cup, as we have come to expect in this suit of cups that's here. And that's surrounded by this big medicine wheel. Again, that seems to be a theme of a lotus leaf, this wheel. Now, it's decorated here with two, you may not see it, two little seahorses, and they symbolize the discovery of the secret treasures in your heart. Now, these flying fish, actually I had the ability to see flying fish off Fiji when I was diving at one time. Most interesting things, but they symbolize your unconscious moving through the veil of consciousness. They represent your inner guiding force. The flying fish, the spiritual self, transforms into this, following it up like this, transforms, bang, into this white dove of peace, love, hope, and purity. And this symbolizes the messenger between heaven and earth. Now there's a sea turtle down here. See this turtle? Symbolizes the magical blessings you receive along your journey in life. And that's a little baby dolphin, and I assume a mother dolphin there. They symbolize the joy and fluidity of this watery world that's inhabited by this princess. Now, this is a time when you are going to be perceived by other people as being very gracious. There's going to be a sort of a voluptuous sexuality to you, a sweetness, well, unless you're male, then it's not voluptuous, then it's going to be there'll be a magnetism coming from you. You'll be kind and actually very romantic and dreamy. Now, the princess represents the earthy part of water in esoteric thought. And so what she does is that she possesses that faculty of crystallization to get water to come into earth and to mold things. The power of water to give substance to idea that you have, as well as to support life and water, of course, is the basis of all chemical combinations. Now, she is very tender, and in a sense, she kind of lives in a world of romance, in the particular dream of romantic rapture. Now, some people might superficially think that she's selfish and lazy, but that's far from the truth, because she actually goes about her work silently and effortlessly. This is speaking to me of a time for you of emotional freedom and trust in yourself. And isn't that good? Because that's what this guy was telling you to have. That's there. Now, I think what we see here also is a time of romance where you are gentle and kind. There's a depth to you because she's in the ocean here. But the thing is that you don't want to spend all of your time dreaming about romance and forgetting to engage in life. Now, you might find that you are dependent on other people at this time, and in which event there's no problem with that. Receive graciously. Understand that the power to receive is as important as the power to give. And of course, you give so much of yourself, and so you're entitled to get something in return. Trust your feelings and perceptions now, because you are on the right path. Is there anything preventing you from being fully free? You now have the opportunity to let go of it as well, and say to yourself, the more I love myself, the more I can share with others. Then we get finally, we'll have to get through this rather quickly because I'm cognizant of your time, this Princess of Pentacles. Well, she is pregnant with the star of life that's here. And her dress, I think, symbolizes the cosmos within her. And the tree to her right actually has the symbol for Earth, and there's also a moon that's on it. The butterflies symbolize transformation. There's little fairies down here, which are these sprites that look after nature. And the swan talks about purity and love, and this turtle that's in there, that speaks of, I think, of Mother Earth, really. The fox symbolizes feminine energies and awakened creative life force, and this black bear is also to do with femininity. And here are the chakras, this red, blue butterflies, speaking of transformation. And some papyrus reeds growing up there, which speak of your connection and her connection with Earth as well. Now, I think that you are going to be energetic, very capable as managing things. I think you'll be slow to anger, but look out if anybody has pushed your buttons in the wrong way. You'll have a mastery of structure. I'm not thinking so much about architecture, but things of design. That is organizing things around your home, looking after yourself, fashion, hair, makeup, that type of thing, getting a good suit, making sure you present a good first impression on people. You'll have a great energy in dealings with the material things at the moment, and you'll be unshakable. There will be a lot of physical activity at this time. I don't think that anyone's going to be able to pigeonhole you into being either brainy or intellectual or practical, but you'll have a good mix of the both. But it's a time in your life when you're going to be very goal-oriented and want to sort out the material side of your life, things to do with your health, your work, those things that are tangible to you. Now, I think what we have here is that this is the time for you to take action, because if you do so, important experiences are going to result. Now, what activities do you enjoy? What activities would help you towards your self-realization? Find a physical creative activity in which you find joy and fulfillment, and say, I'm finding the work that fulfills and satisfies me. I've also got to say that I would not be surprised if you do not hear of pregnancy or childbirth at this time. This is very fertile, very good time to get things underway and fulfill the advice of this Fool card that's there. Trust, move, and you will obtain. Great energies for you. Good job.
Gee, I said that was an interesting deck, didn't I? And what a fantastic set of imagery it was. What a good month it's going to be for you, I think, and don't you deserve it? Truly you do. Fantastic. Well, unless I see you privately beforehand, then I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, remember one thing, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.